Hello, welcome back to Wolfeei Extras. Today we're going to be talking about MCC All Stars 2, or whatever, if it happens, whatever it's going to be called. I saw this Reddit post, and I thought it was interesting to look at, and I also did some stuff in preparation for this. So, here we go. Someone made a post saying, should both MCC All Stars and Underdogs return, but taking into account only Season 2 and Season 3 wins and losses? Now, I think this is an interesting topic, because when you're thinking of MCC All Stars, right, the kind of the point of the event is to be like, who's the best of the best, implying that the best players are the ones who have won, which, I mean, obviously that's a little depending on your personal preference and context, but yeah, and Underdogs is who is the best loser, technically. My thoughts is, yes, I think MCC All Stars and Underdogs should return. Should they return under those names? All Stars, yes. Underdogs, maybe, depending on what they want to do. I think, obviously, considering Underdogs had literally happened last year, I think All Stars would be the one that is up next, if it is the one up next, because for November, they usually host like an anniversary special type event. And last year it was Underdogs. The year before it was, I think, All Stars. Might have been a normal event. I don't remember. There was also Rising for one of them, which was, I think, before All Stars. So I don't remember when all of this was. But they do a special event in November usually, which is usually non-canon, which I hope will return. And I think the three candidates for that are either All Stars, Rising, or Underdogs. I think most likely it's either All Stars or Rising. Personally, I would hope it's Rising, because it's just, you know, it puts a lot more, it gives MCC more options for who to add potentially, and it gives non-MCC participants a chance to at least play once. I think that's already good enough. But yeah, someone said, like, if you should do a new second MCC All Stars, whether you should only include the Season 2 and Season 3 winners. And I think that makes sense. I think it makes sense. I do think it would be... I mean, it would be a little silly to include Season 1 wins. But I also could understand why you would do it, because I don't think you get that big of a pool of players to pick from. However, I think similarly to how in Pride, LGBTQIA plus creators get a higher priority than non-LGBTQIA plus creators, should apply here too. Season 2, Season 3 winners should get higher priority over Season 1 winners, if that were the case, right? So yeah. Also, obviously, if there were to be an All Stars 2 this year, it would be in November, which is probably 5 or 6 events away from now. Considering that probably 1 or 2 of those is non-canon, that's a potential for, like, likely, probably like 7 more new winners, maybe 8. Considering you have what? Let's say you have 4 normal numbered events, maybe 5. Let's say 5. It's a good number. So you have 5 numbered events. That means 20 people win. There's likely some either duplicates in there or people who've already got a Season 2 or Season 3 win. Let's say that's 60% of them. That leaves you with 8, I think, out of 20. 8 new winners would already be fine. Because then you get this. This is what I made before recording. I went over the MCC wiki and I tried to figure out who has won in Season 2, Season 3. Then whether the win was canon or non-canon, or half canon, which is down here. That one should technically be here. And then if they won for the before All Stars and non-canon before All Stars as well. So this is the compilation. Here you see who's your potential players to pick from, and I'll be completely honest, I don't think this should turn into an All Stars event, because I think it would be too sweaty. I don't know if you can tell how many good players are in this list, but hypothetically, if all of them were to play, which we already know would not be the case, because Dream is literally right there, and he already said that he's not playing in competitive ones. Got a 5-up Ant Frost, Sparkles, I'd argue, is a very good player. Dream, Shane, Fruit, George is pretty good. H-Bomb, Martin, Jojo, Dave. I don't know how good the Spanish creators actually would be on a different team, but I'd say they're pretty good. So you have more, even more. Sneak's pretty good too. Tommy, that's already 24. That means half the teams, every single team needs at least 2 of these people. And even if you take out, like, Sneak, and you take out, like, I don't know, Scott maybe, and then you take out, you take out Ollie Gamers, I guess, and then maybe Captain Sparkles to make the top 20, that is still wild. Who are you going to put with Shane? Or Purpled? Purpled gets a good teammate. It's already GG's. So, and that's not even to consider that there's still many good players left, just not like top 20 good in this roster, but still good. So, yeah, you run into a lot of issues. And, I mean, hoping that, that there's a lot more new winners, it could be possible. But, looking at the roster here, they need a lot of options, otherwise they run into issues like some that I have seen mentioned plenty of times, which is balancing. The biggest concern I have with another MCC All Stars is balancing. I feel like if any event would need to be the most balanced possible event out of any of them, it should be the All Stars one that's about like the best winner of the best players, right? That should be the one that is balanced the best. So if you don't have that many options to work with, your balancing is either going to be poor or your team chemistry is going to be poor. And either of those are not ideal. So, what do you think of an MCC All Stars 2? I think it's a cool idea, but I think it needs to wait. Whether that is waiting until next year or by hoping that there's a lot of new winners. And in the instance that there isn't enough winners, you do Rising this year, do All-Stars next year, maybe throw in Underdogs not on the November date, but maybe like in May. Because, I mean, I've already expressed my opinion on this. Underdogs, I think, was such a fantastic event roster-wise and just experience-wise. I think it was really cool. Whether you include only people who haven't won yet or not is totally fine by me. I just think the concept of Underdogs is cool enough where I think it should happen more frequently. Whether you call it Underdogs or you just call it a regular MCC where you just get a bunch of non-Minecrafter creators involved, or you call it like MCC Playground, I don't know what you would call it. It could be cool. Anyways, that's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. Also, I'm sorry if I sounded weird. I am tired trying to fix my sleep schedule. Alright, thank you for watching. Goodbye.